HR issues can kill you. One complaint against your company can turn your world upside down. And you spend way too much time dealing with HR when you should be spending your time on making a profit. You should talk to Bambee. With Bambee, get access to your own dedicated US-based HR manager starting at just $99 per month. They get to know you and your business while providing HR expertise and the personal touch you need and want. They're available by phone, email, and real-time chat, so onboarding and terminations run smoothly. Team members reach peak performance, and your business stays compliant with changing HR regulations. And with Bambee's HR Autopilot, you'll automate important HR practices like setting policies, training, and feedback. HR managers can easily cost $80,000 a year, but Bambee starts at $99 per month. Schedule your free conversation today to see how much Bambee can take off your plate. Go to Bambee.com right now and type in Accelerate under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Spelled BAM, BEE.com. Bambee.com. Type in Accelerate.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Welcome to Accelerate Your Business Growth with your host, Diane Helbig. Diane is a leading small business development and leadership coach, author, and speaker who is passionate about sharing valuable ideas, tips, and techniques with business professionals worldwide. Diane brings you the world's experts and gurus in all things business. Whether it's sales, structure, social media, planning, or plateauing, guests bring their expertise and energy to each episode. When growing your business is your focus, Accelerate Your Business Growth is the show to listen to. Got a topic or guest suggestion? Let Diane know. The goal is to make sure you have the information you need to move your business forward. Thanks for joining us. Settle in and enjoy.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. Head on over to audibletrial.com/businessgrowth, sign up for a free trial of audible.com and go exploring. Take a look at the audiobooks, but also check out the other content that is there. The Accelerate Your Business Growth podcast continues to enjoy inclusion on lists of the best podcasts to listen to. This is due to the guests. These are folks who have expertise in particular areas of business, and they join me for a conversation where they share that expertise with all of you. Today is no exception. My guest today is Dr. Destini Copp. Destini is a marketing consultant with more than 25 years of experience in marketing and online education, and is the host of the Course Creators MBA podcast. More than 3,700 online entrepreneurs use her time-saving templates, swipe files, and marketing training to help them grow their online business. She's obsessed with marketing and sales funnel conversion to help her clients attract leads and nurture them at each stage of the funnel to drive sales. Thanks so much for joining me today, Destini.
Diane, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I am thrilled to have you here. I love this subject of online courses for a multitude of reasons, some personal and others for the listeners. So let's start with, this is what I'm curious about. What is the market opportunity and who is a good fit to create an online course business or, add this as a revenue stream?
Yeah, the market opportunity is huge. They are projecting it to be 351 billion in the next few years, and it's already huge. I mean, especially with COVID in the past year, even even the kids are, they're getting used to online learning. That's just not going to change. They're going to continue to, everybody's going to continue to learn online. Even people that haven't been exposed to this have been exposed to it this past year. So we definitely will see a growth in online courses. But what I will say is that there's a lot of opportunities to add an online course as an additional revenue stream in your business, or just to reduce expenses that you may have. And I'll give you some specific examples, Diane, just to kind of so your listeners can understand.
Yeah.
So a couple of some of these are clients, some of these are just people that I know. Some of these examples are people that I've interviewed on my own podcast, just talking to them about what they've done in their business. One example is somebody who owns a hair salon. She has been, very successful with her hair salon. She's done different things over the years. She's always fully booked. And she had other hair salon owners coming to her and saying, what are you doing? Like, what's your secret sauce? I want to be able to achieve what you're doing. And that's when she was like, okay, I got so many people asking me to, about this. And she created an online course and an online program and added it, as part of her business so she could help other hair salon owners achieve what she had done. Another example is someone who has been in the franchise business for, I think he's been in that business for over 20 years. And so his kind of secret sauce, if you would, his superpower was helping people find the right franchise for them. So he had been doing that kind of as a one-on-one type service or consulting. And he had a lot of people coming to him. He just couldn't serve them all. So, or some of them, couldn't afford the rates that he was charging for those consulting services. So what he did for that particular segment of the market, he created an online course to kind of help walk them through the process so they could, select the best franchise for them. Give you one more example, and then I'll kind of turn it over to you. One more example is somebody that I've worked with in the past. She helps people market vacation rentals. So this could be, this could be like a small boutique type thing, or it could just be somebody who has multiple vacation homes that they're trying to get booked. And what happened was, and especially expanded this past year, where people wanted to reduce their reliance on Airbnb and VRBO. I mean, all that stuff that was happening where they were, basically dictating to these vacation rental owners what they could do and couldn't do. So she helps them decrease their reliance on them and gets folks to you market those so people can book direct with them. And that's just a few examples.
Those are great examples because they're not your typical, like me, I'm an advisor and a trainer. So it would make sense for me to do online courses, but I love those examples because they really point out that it really is available to anybody.
And I could go on and give you so many of them, but the truth is there's a lot of opportunity out there. And just one more came to my mind. This other person I've been working with, he has done sales training. So that's his business. And his whole model, and he's been doing this for a long time, his whole model is he goes out to people's locations, right? Goes out to their locations, or, somewhere close to them, he might book, a hotel room or whatever to deliver his training. But he's done all of that really face-to-face type sales training. So he'll train your sales staff, if you would.
Yeah.
Well, this, what happened last year, right? He wasn't able to go do that. So he was like, I have to pivot. I have to do something
Yeah.
differently. So he took that business and, basically went online with it, went virtual with it. And, he would still do some, what we call synchronous. So he might get on a Zoom with some of those, but a lot of it went online.
Wow. Yeah. Well, so didn't everyone then have to do that? That is definitely interesting. So, okay, so let's talk about building an audience because, I guess if you don't have an audience, people aren't going to know that you have a course out there, I would imagine. But why is it important to build that audience, or is that why it's important to do it before you actually create the course? And how do you do it?
Yeah, so I think it kind of, everybody's business, right, is going to be a little bit unique. So
Yeah.
going back to that, the hair salon owner, if you would. So she knew there was a demand out there for what she had to offer in her skill set. Now, people were coming to her and they were asking her, well, she might have what 10 or so people to sell it to, but for her to really make a business out of that, out of selling that online course and selling that program, she needs to find other hair salon owners that are interested in learning from her, that need her help. So, and there's a lot of ways that you can build your audience. You can do it through paid advertising. You can open up a Facebook group. Facebook groups are great, or a LinkedIn group. They are great for people, finding people who are interested in, what you can help them with. And that's actually one of the things that she did. And also the vacation rental client that I have, where she helps other, them decrease their reliance on VRBO and Airbnb. She also created a Facebook group and had thousands of people join that group. And from there, what she did, they got them on her email list. So she offered them some type of lead magnet or a free gift that they were interested in, and got them, from the Facebook group onto her email list. And, from there, did other things like blogging and podcasting, and kept providing value. But that's, really one of the best ways to grow your audience, especially when you're just starting out.
Okay. So one of the things I like about that is that it's somewhat systematic, right? You can say, this is what I need to do first. This is the road I need to go down. And then, and you can be doing that while you're actually building the course that then you're going to put online.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So you say there are 3 types of online courses. Would you share what those are?
Yes. So in this market, right, there's what I would describe as a full MBA type course. So taking the hair salon owner as an example, she created an end-to-end system for her client. So it was, an MBA of how to run a hair salon business. That is more of a signature course. It has everything in there that those hair salon owners need to be successful. Okay.
Yeah.
Your audience may not need that or be interested in that. So the other 2 types of courses, and I like both of them, and I'll give you some reasons why. One is what I call like a mini course or a starter course. It's also called a tiny course, but basically what this is doing, what a mini course does, it gives your audience a quick win. Okay. So take, for example, the vacation rental owner that was helping, that particular consultant that was helping other people book direct. What she has done, she created what I would call a mini course. And it was just a mini course on how they could market their home on Instagram. So very quick win. Didn't go into all the details of everything that they could be doing, right, to get people to book direct, but it helped them focus on one platform, one opportunity, really walk them through how to set up Instagram, how to set up their profile, what they should be posting about. So really just a mini course. Now, another example would be a subject matter course. Now, a subject matter course would be, part of that MBA program, right? It's just, you're focusing on one subject. So let's just say you teach people how to learn, I'll throw something out there, how to learn Excel, if you would.
Okay.
And, that's a very viable market. There's a lot of people out there that need to learn need to learn Excel. You could create what I would call a subject matter course in that area so that they can focus on that.
Okay. That's interesting. So someone's listening and they're thinking, they're doing what I'm doing, and they're going, okay, well, this is really interesting. How do I start? And even how would I even validate that this is something people want?
So there's one of the ways that you can validate is do what we call a beta test. And I've done these in the past and they work great. So what you would do for a beta test is you would create an outline and basically, a high level outline. This is what needs to be included in this course. This is what I'm going to be teaching. And what you would do, you would go out to your audience. Maybe you have a Facebook group. Maybe you have an existing email list of people who already may be interested in this. You would go out and say, here's what I'm creating a course about. I'm going to be running a beta. Here's what your responsibilities will be. Here's what I'll give you as part of this beta. And are you interested in going through this journey with me? And I will bet you that you will get takers on that offer. I've done many beta courses in the past and they work. So how you can do a beta course, and I'll give you a couple different options. One of the ways I love doing beta courses is just doing weekly group trainings. So let's just say you got 10 people to take you up on that beta offer. Okay. So what you would do, let's just say you're doing a 5-week course. What you'll do every single week, you'll deliver your training via Zoom. You'll have those 10 people on. You'll record it for somebody who may not be able to attend, because that's going to happen. You'll deliver your training. They might have some actions that they need to go take to achieve the transformation or the result that you're promising them. You'll ask for feedback. You'll go through that and do that every single week. And then at the end, you'll have all of their feedback. You'll know if they achieved your transformation. So if you're able to deliver on what you promised. And then at the end, you're going to have all of this content already developed.
Oh, I see. That's interesting.
Now, that delivering via Zoom is one of the ways to do it. Another way to do it is just to record the videos.
Yeah.
And upload them into your online course platform. And there's a lot of different options in the marketplace for that. I use Kajabi. A lot of, Teachable's another great one. Thinkific's another great one. So there's a lot of different options for your online course platform. So what I've also done in the past is just recorded the video. I uploaded it to the online course platform. I let my beta testers know that it was out there, and, to go watch it and give me feedback. But that's another way that you can deliver your beta test.
I'm going to take a quick sponsor break, and then I have some more questions for you. Accelerate Your Business Growth podcast is happy to be sponsored by Audible.com. Audible.com is a leading provider of spoken digital audio entertainment and information. They have thousands of titles to choose from, as well as podcasts, Audible originals, guided meditations, and more. One of my favorite audiobooks is Everyone Deserves a Great Manager by Scott Miller. For me, I love being able to listen to it anywhere and across my devices without losing my place. And I think you will too. So visit audibletrial.com/businessgrowth to explore the variety of audiobooks and programs for yourself. talk some about those platforms. Are there some that are, I'll say, more user-friendly when it comes to putting your course on there than others?
I will say that all of them, all of the ones, all the big ones out there are extremely user friendly.
Okay.
I have used Podia with clients. I've used Think of It with clients. I've used Teachable with clients. And of course, I use Kajabi. And I've never had any problems whatsoever learning a platform. So basically, what you'll generally do, you'll just go in and just upload your video. Let's just say you have a workbook or a cheat sheet or some type of checklist that you have created to help your students. You will upload that in the online course platform, and that's all you have to do. So it's just a matter of really clicking to go find that file on your computer and just kind of dragging it over to their platform to upload it, and they'll do everything for you.
Okay, so does it have to be video?
It doesn't have to be video. Another option like Kajabi, you can just upload audio files. So let's just say you don't have a video, you can upload an audio file in there and students can download it and learn it and, listening to it in their car on their way to work. So that's a great question. It doesn't have to be video.
Okay, cool. And then how do you price it?
Pricing, it really just depends, and a lot of it depends on your niche, your market, your customer, what the transformation is, what the value of that course may be. So I've seen courses anywhere from, $19 all the way up to $5,000.
Wow.
Now, a $5,000 course would be something, I'll give you an example because I've purchased these type of courses and these programs in your past. A $5,000 course might be somebody who's building like an agency and you're helping them build their agency, whether it's a marketing agency or a Facebook ad agency or something like that. I'm giving just an example of a possible $5,000 course.
Yeah.
And they have the course content, but you also have some type of coaching or group coaching, or maybe even some one-on-ones in there to help your client or your student achieve the result. Now, a mini course, which is an example I gave you earlier, those can run anywhere. Generally, you're going to see them anywhere from in the consumer market, maybe, $19, or a business market like that Instagram course I mentioned to you, that was like a mini type course. That's generally going to be, $49, $79, something like that. Now, a subject matter course could be, 200 to 500, so it really just depends. And there's a lot of pricing variables and kind of analysis that goes into there. And I always, of course, encourage people to go out in the marketplace, look at your competitors, see what they're doing, as you always would when you're pricing products and services.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I think that's good. I think it's tough for people to figure that out on an online format. You mentioned earlier when you were talking about these different kinds of courses, and then you said something about that you could have the course and it's got coaching along with it, which I think is something that would probably be pretty appealing to people. And I'm wondering if you can describe like what that would look like, or give an example, if you know of an example of someone who's doing that kind of thing.
I can give you a ton of examples here. So, and this is a very, very popular option.
Okay.
So a more expensive course, and I will say, anything from like $1,000 to $2,000, or even the $5,000 that I mentioned. Typically what they're going to have some type of Facebook group or some type of community, if you would, for those students. Where the students can kind of interact with each other, or, maybe even get some support from the business or the coach or whatever who is delivering that course and that program to them. So in addition to that, they may have some opportunities for the coach and the students to interact. And generally what you'll see is that's going to happen via a Zoom. So maybe once a month, maybe every other week, that coach or that consultant will get together with their students, and they might have some prepared content that they're delivering, or it may be just a Q&A type session. So it really just depends on what they're helping their students with, and the transformation that they've promised, and what kind of support do they need. But it is very, very common and popular for those more expensive type courses and programs to have some of that one-on-one kind of touch points, if you would. And the reason for that is you want to make sure that your students and your clients are achieving that transformation that you promised them. Going back to that hair salon owner example that I gave you earlier, it is, it's not easy, right? To make sure that you have a fully booked hair salon. So in that particular case, you're going to want to provide some of that one-on-one, type of support, or group coaching type of support there.
Okay, that's great. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Shoot, another question. So it feels like for some people who are already doing training, or already doing some sort of coaching, that they can just take the content they were doing in person and convert it to an online program. But I'm thinking about the people like the gal, with the hair salon. If someone is in an industry that is not a coach or a trainer, and they are thinking, boy, this would be a great addition to my revenue stream, is there like a thought process that they can go through to try and identify something that they could be teaching? Like, are there questions they can ask themselves, or?
Yeah, absolutely there is. And I do have a process that I walk people through, and it's just really called discovering your profitable course idea. And it goes back to looking at your skill sets. So what I tell people to do is make a list, get a notebook, lining up what are your passion? What are you passionate about? What do you love doing? And another column is for what are your skill sets? What are you good at? And, even to create something like that. And I've done these lists for my own personal self in the past. And I've gone back to my CV or my resume and, kind of listed some of the things that I was really good at. I'll give you some examples here. When I went back to my CV and my resume, I, wrote down all my skills. So obviously marketing is one of them. I've been in marketing for many, many years. Leadership and management skills. I've managed an organization that had 1,000 people in it. Not only did I have 1,000 people in it, they were all remote employees. So that was another skill set that came up for me. I could have easily had gone down the path of creating a course, helping people manage remote workers. So that was an option for me, right?
Yeah.
So, it's really just looking at what you're passionate about. What do you love doing? What are your skill sets? And thinking about, I think I can make a business out of it. And then going and doing the market research to see if there's demand out there for it. One great place that I love to go to see if there are courses on the market related to what I want to do. And the reason why this is important, because if there are already courses on what you want to do, like I'll give that example of, helping people manage remote workers. If there is a course out there that does that, I know there's a market demand for it. So I like to go to Udemy, and Udemy, you can go there and search on about any topic that you can possibly think about. And if you're thinking about helping people, manage remote workers, and you go there and there's like some courses on that will tell you there's a demand in the marketplace. And they even have, if you sign up to get into their instructor area on Udemy, they will even give you some of that market research. So they'll tell you how many searches they have on their platform for that topic. Just to give you an example, I was helping a client, and his kind of superpower is content marketing. He owns a content marketing agency. He's like, is there a demand out there for it? I said, well, let's go look. So we went to Udemy, we went to that section, and it told us how many searches were happening on that platform for courses related to content marketing. And we looked at it and we're like, oh my gosh, there's a ton of demand for this.
Wow. That's a great idea. I love that. And I love that process that you put people through. So speaking of that, and Destini, this information, I said at the beginning of this that I had a couple of reasons for being excited about this topic, one of which was so I could learn something, which I did, but also because I think this is really something, especially now that people are getting so much more used to online learning. It's such a great time to jump into this end of the pool, so to speak. So will you tell the listeners, how they can find you, what you've got going on? Because I think that would be equally valuable.
Absolutely. So the best place to find me is at my website, which is destinicopp.com. I'm sure you'll put in the show notes, but it's spelled with an I at the end instead of a Y. I always tell people that. And LinkedIn is the best place to find me on the social map, on a social media platform is also Destini Copp.
Excellent. Wow. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And listeners, thank you. This was a topic that if you haven't thought about it, think about it, because you can see from these examples that this is something that you could add to your business. It could be a revenue stream that you add that could be really valuable to you and your community. I'd also like to thank our sponsor. Head on over to audibletrial.com/businessgrowth. Sign up for that free trial. And as I say, go exploring, check out the audiobooks, the podcasts, the Audible originals, all the different items that they have there for your listening pleasure. As always, continue to prosper and be curious. And until we meet again on another episode of Accelerate Your Business Growth, goodbye and good day.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
We are Jackie Clayton and Katie Van Horn, co-hosts of the Inclusive AF podcast. We're two diversity, equity, and inclusion peeps who love both what we have in common and what makes us different.
During the day, we use our superpowers to block bias and break down systems that are inequitable within companies and create inclusive AF places to work. We're also BFFs who have tough conversations about our different lived experience. Come have a listen and learn something new.